Once upon a time, there was a girl named Kimiko who lived in a village that sat between rolling hills and a stormy sea. The villagers had big dreams, but their worries were bigger. Every day, dark clouds gathered over the horizon, hiding the sun and stealing their happiness. Even worse, strange birds that shouldn't be seen began appearing all around them, like a hummingbird made entirely of glass or an owl with moonlit wings. These wondrous creatures weren't from this world, and they seemed lost and confused. One day, something extraordinary happened. As Kimiko walked through the village, she saw all the villagers gathered together, staring up at the sky. Just above their heads, trapped inside her hat, was a magnificent stormbird with feathers as dark as the clouds and wings that crackled with lightning. It flapped its wings desperately, sending bolts of lightning crashing into the sea. And with every crash of thunder, the bird cried out in pain. This was no ordinary bird. Its feathers were spun from moonlight and stardust, and its eyes twinkled like distant galaxies. But it was exhausted and scared. If they didn't help this magical creature, it would die. And if the bird died, the sky would forget how to sing, leaving their world shrouded in darkness forever. Kimiko wanted to help, but everyone else was too afraid. They believed that helping the bird would bring bad luck to the village. Kimiko couldn't believe what she was hearing. Didn't they understand? If they didn't do something, their entire world would be plunged into eternal darkness. Without thinking twice, Kimiko stepped forward and reached out to touch the bird. But when she got close, she saw that it was even more beautiful than she had imagined. Its feathers were the color of a moonless night, and its eyes shone with the wisdom of 1,000 stars. As soon as it saw Kimiko, it stopped struggling. With a voice as gentle as the falling rain, the bird spoke to her, thanking her for trying to help. It explained that it was trapped in a net of starlight, a prison that only someone pure of heart could enter. And the only way to free her was to let her go. Kimiko didn't understand why she was chosen, but she promised to save the bird and restore the sky's song. When she touched the bird, she felt a jolt of energy run through her body. The bird closed its eyes and snuggled closer to her, trusting her to do the right thing. Despite the villagers' warnings, Kimiko knew she had to free the bird. Carefully, she untangled the net of starlight, and as it dissolved, the bird spread its wings and soared into the sky. For a moment, the only sound was the wind whistling through the trees. Then, as if waking from a dream, the bird song returned to the sky. The villagers gasped in amazement as colorful birds filled the air, their sweet songs chasing away the dark clouds. In the distance, Kimiko saw the stormbird perched on a rock, watching her with gratitude in its eyes. The bird had found its way home, and the sky was singing again because of her courage. Now, whenever Kimiko walks through the village, the birds gather on her shoulders, their sweet songs echoing the joy she brings to their world. And as long as the sky remembers its song, their world will always be filled with light. Every morning when the sun rises, Kimiko puts on a special hat, a cap made of feathers that match the colors of the sky, and a pair of soft leather gloves. The feathers are from the very same birds that now fill the sky with their joyful songs. And the leather is so supple and strong because it comes from the hides of the brave animals that protect the forest. She wears these every morning because she wants to remember who she is. A protector of the sky and the earth, a friend of the birds and the animals, and a beacon of hope for her people. As the sun climbs higher in the sky, the birds chirp excitedly, urging Kimiko to start her work. She takes a deep breath, feeling the spirit of the forest flowing through her veins, and begins to mend the nets, patch the holes, and reinforce the traps that protect the forest. Her movements are quick and precise, guided by the instincts of the animals and the wisdom of the ancient trees. The birds flit around her, their tiny beaks and claws working in unison to repair the damage caused by the careless humans. Together, they are a whirlwind of activity, patching up the forest before the sun reaches its zenith. Then it's time for Kimiko to take a break. She sits down on a nearby log, leaning back against the rough bark. The birds settle down on the branches around her, chirping softly as they rest. Kimiko closes her eyes, listening to the soothing sounds of the forest. She feels a deep sense of satisfaction, knowing that she has done her part to protect the balance of nature. The forest is full of dangers, both seen and unseen, and it's up to Kimiko and her animal companions to keep it safe. They face everything together, from the cunning traps of the weasels to the raging storms that threaten to tear the forest apart. Through it all, Kimiko's courage never wavers. She faces each challenge head on, trusting in the strength of her bonds with the animals and the power of their collective will. As the sun begins its slow descent, the birds stir, sensing that it's time to get back to work. Kimiko joins them, her movements becoming swift and sure. They have much to accomplish before nightfall, and the approaching darkness brings with it new dangers. The nocturnal predators are stirring, and the forest floor is treacherous after dark. Kimiko and the birds work tirelessly, mending fences, reinforcing shelters, and preparing for the coming night. When the last rays of sunlight fade from the sky, Kimiko and the birds huddle together in their hidden den. Outside, the forest comes alive with the sounds of nocturnal creatures. There's the rustle of unseen animals in the undergrowth, the hoot of an owl, and the eerie call of a distant wolf. But inside the den, Kimiko and the birds feel safe. They know that their hard work has paid off, and that they are ready for whatever challenges the night may bring. The birds chirp softly, their tiny bodies huddled together for warmth. Kimiko leans against a nearby tree, her eyes half closed, listening to the comforting sounds around her. She knows that the forest is in good hands, and she can rest easy until the first rays of dawn light touch the horizon. Then it's time for Kimiko to wake up. She stretches, feeling the stiffness of the night before slowly leaving her body. The birds stir, shaking off the sleep that has weighed on their wings. Together, Kimiko and the birds emerge from their hiding place, blinking in the soft light of dawn. The forest is still and quiet, the previous night's chaos forgotten. As the first rays of sunlight hit the forest floor, Kimiko and the birds freeze. They have been waiting for this moment, and now it's time to put their plan into action. The birds take flight, soaring into the sky with powerful beats of their wings. Their feathers catch the sunlight, turning them into shimmering jewels against the backdrop of the rising sun. Kimiko watches them go, a small smile on her face. She knows that she can count on the birds to do their part. As the sun climbs higher in the sky, Kimiko gathers materials for her work. She uses vines, leaves, and sticks, weaving them together with a deftness that comes from years of practice. The birds return, bringing with them news from the forest. They tell Kimiko about any disturbances or changes, and she listens intently, taking notes on what needs to be fixed. Throughout the day, Kimiko works tirelessly, making repairs, reinforcing defenses, and preparing for any eventuality. She doesn't stop, not even for a moment, until the sun begins its slow descent towards the western mountains. As the light fades, Kimiko and the birds gather once more in their secret den. The forest grows quiet, and the sounds of the day are replaced by the rustlings of the night. The birds settle down, huddling together for warmth and comfort. Kimiko leans against a tree, her eyelids growing heavy. The day's work is done, and she can rest until the first whispers of dawn reach their hidden den. And so the cycle continues, day after day, with Kimiko and the birds working in harmony to protect and preserve the forest. They face the challenges of each new day with courage and determination, knowing that their bond is unbreakable and their purpose is eternal.